line by line so that everybody can hear where we're at. I think that, oh, I did want to mention one thing. You were talking about COVID. I did have a company today offer to hold vaccinations at their facility for essential workers. They have 2 driveways, so it would be easy access in and out for people to do a drive-through type setting. And so I had emailed Genesee County Health Department today, and I was waiting for an answer. So, Carol, I may contact you tomorrow to get a contact from you if you have a better contact than maybe me just emailing them. And that's it.
That concludes your report. All righty. So the last would be committee reports. And I know Carol Pfaffdahl, who is the trustee who represents the Planning Commission, has already given us an update. And trustee Tom Klee, who represents the Township Board on the ZBA, has said there's not a report. And I see that John Whiteside, who's secretary of our Road Advisory Committee, he gave a report last week. And I don't know if he had anything to say based on our last meeting. John, do you have anything?
I can give a short update from our last meeting.
Thank you.
Mike Pfeiffer was at our last meeting and he kind of updated us where we're at on the 7 projects. 5 of them are ready for bids. 2 of them, actually the bids from last year, they're going to go ahead and accept those bids. The contractor said they would make those bids good. The other thing we had in our meeting was Jack Wheatley from Rowe Professional Services. And some of you might be aware, the Rowe Professional Services working with County Planning Commission, they're looking at Genesee County intersections. And they've narrowed their list down to 38, and they're looking to put in roundabouts. And on that list, 5 of those are actually in Flint Township, and they're broke down by tiers. The first tier being the most serious, then the second tier. And the criteria they use, a first tier has at least 2 deaths or accidents, a serious injury. Tier 2 would have 1 death or serious accident. And tier 3 would have no death or serious accidents, but they got other criteria they're using. And they said that 80% of that funding would come from, I guess, the federal. And then the 20% would come from local, whether it's Genesee County or local municipalities got to put money in. They're not sure how that will all play out, but this is kind of just in the planning stage. And TV12 did do a segment this week on that article about the roundabouts. And they mentioned on the news, they mentioned I-75 and Cronin Road, but that's not on the list. I can give you the 5 intersections. The first tier had 2 in Flint Township. One was Court and Dye, which has been previously talked about years ago. And the other one in tier 1 is Court and Linden. And then in tier 2, they had Lennon in Linden and Beecher in Linden. And in tier 3, the third tier was Beecher and Elms. And actually with Jack Wheatley, they said they're trying to narrow their list of 38 down to 13. And they going around having meetings, trying to determine what the community feels about these intersections. And we had some in-depth discussions about all 5 of those and gave some suggestions about maybe would be a good place. I mean, obviously this is in early stages. So you may have some people question you about that, but that is what that's about. They're trying to look at what intersections they could use these federal dollars on to try to make them safer. And I know Tracy Tucker was at our road advisory, along with Mike Pfeiffer and of course, Supervisor Miller. And we did have all of our committee members at that meeting. And that's about all I've got, Karen.
And in that meeting with Jack Wheatley, he was trying to get input, the feel of how the township and our residents would feel about those. And we kind of let them know based on the last try to put a roundabout in at Court and Dye. And we gave them some feedback thinking that like one of the intersections was Elms and Beecher, which probably is it's busy enough. Hold on a second. it's busy enough that it could use a roundabout. There's been no deaths that they had listed, but it also has plenty of space for the roundabout. And then we also talked about Lennon and Elms Road. We let them know that we thought, and Mike Piper also said it, Linden Road, any roundabout on Linden Road would just kind of be crazy, given the amount of traffic and the speed. And then the discussion, the tier 1 intersection where we've had more than one death was Court and Dye. And we had the discussion about how there's not enough room. And if they were to do something about the spacing, because to the east of that intersection is more space, but that the intersection and the right or the easement that they have, there was a lot of residential input that was completely against this. So they kind of got a feel for how our constituents felt about that. And just they're collecting information. They don't have complete funding, and this would occur over a period of time. Did he say the earliest any roundabout would go in was a few years, right, John?
I believe that's what he said, because they don't actually have any funding available. They're just trying to narrow down the list. So when the funding becomes available, they have a list to work off of.
So it's more planning, and they were getting input. And just a note on the road, you mentioned that 2 of the roads in our construction repair plan for this summer are already bid out. And didn't Mike Pfeiffer say that those roads would be ready to go and be paved, mill and paved in May?
I believe that's what he said, yes.
And then shortly thereafter, after the road commission puts them out for bid, or Mike puts them out for bid through the permit through the road commission, it should be maybe June. It should be early when we get the others paved too.
Yeah, they said the 2 that we've already got the bids on, that was Dorallen and Bailey, and those were actually left over from last year.
Alrighty. Thank you for that update, John. Sorry I put you on the spot. We will, there's no more reports. We'll move on to number 10, Madam Treasurer.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to pay bills in the amount of $3,076.33 and to acknowledge payment of invoices and disbursements in the amount of $4,264,073.92 for a total of $4,267,150.25.
Is there a motion to the, is there a second to the motion? Sorry.
Pfaffdal support.
Who was that?
Pfaffdal, Carol.
Thank you. Any questions for Madam Treasurer on paying the bills? Madam Clerk, roll call please on the motion to pay the bills in the amount of $3,076.33.
Mrs. Pfaffdal,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes, Mr. Klee,
Yes.
Ms. Catba,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, number 11, are there correspondence or informational items you want to bring to our attention?
There's a letter from Forest Creek Schools complying with their PEG dollars. They submitted their quarterly report to us. And that's it.
So I didn't see a request for money. I know we recently distributed some. We're supposed to receive quarterly reports from all 3 of the schools in our school districts that are in the township, right?
Correct. And usually we get them when we reach out to them to disperse the funds.
Money? Okay.
Forest Creek is the one who's always Johnny on the spot.
Great. All righty. Thank you very much. We're going to move on to new business, action item A. I'm going to ask Chief Salter a brief description.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. In the board's packet, I'm requesting the board to approve hiring of a on-call firefighter, Josh Richardson. Josh worked with us from 2017 to 2019. And of course, in 2017, we sent him to the fire academy. He did leave on good terms when he left. He had a new family and work that came about, but he's wanting to get back working with on-calls again. He currently has a purchase agreement to buy a house in the township. So I think it would be a good hire to start refilling our ranks a little bit in the on-call firefighter. So I'm requesting the board approve the hiring of Josh as an on-call firefighter.
Tom Clee would move that we accept the employment opportunity for the on-call firefighter applicant Joshua Richardson, and I look forward to getting him sworn in and back serving us.
Is there a second to,
Sports.
is that Lisa?
Yes.
So we have a motion to support. Any questions for Chief Salter? Any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please on the motion to hire on-call firefighter Joshua Richardson, effective, did we say immediately?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes, I'm trying really hard not to sneeze. Mr. Clee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Fafdal,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, board.
Action item. Thank you, Chief Salter. And I see joining us on the Zoom call is Assistant Chief Raleigh. Is he here? Well, I saw him, but,
Yes,
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
oh, there you are. So, very good. So, he's gonna start his training, any more training? I know he's had a little bit.
What he'll do is he'll go through with one of the full-time guys and do a reorientation, get them caught up on all the trainings we need them caught up with, and then get them back running.
Well, very good. This is good. How many does that make? Do you know?
13, that should get us up to
13.
13.
Yep.
And Chief Salter and you are looking at recruits every day.
Yes, ma'am, we are on both sides.
Thank you. So, thank you very much. And we're all set if you have other things pending, Chief Salter and Assistant Chief Raleigh.
Thank you, ma'am.
Action item B is the 2021 Poverty Exemption Extension Resolution. You have the information in your packet. A motion would be in order to move forward.
Clee would move to accept the 2021 Poverty Exemption Extension Resolution per submission.
Is there a second to the motion?
Second it, Campbell.
Campbell, any questions? Any discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, roll call please on the motion to approve, accept the 2021 Poverty Exemption Extension Resolution.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Clee,
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Fafdal,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Action item C is the March Board of Review Written Appeals Resolution. Can we get a motion to move forward? Can I get a motion? Okay, from
Anderson
anyone?
moves that we accept the Board of Review written appeals resolution as submitted.
Is there a second?
Fafdal supports.
Carol, is there any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please to approve the March Board of Review Written Appeals Resolution, please.
Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Clee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Fafdal,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Action item G is the Poverty Income Guidelines and Asset Test Resolution. A motion is needed to move forward.
Anderson moves that we approve the poverty income guidelines and asset test resolution as submitted.
Is there a second to the motion?
Tom Clee would support that motion.
Any further discussion? And hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call please on approving the poverty income guidelines and asset test resolution as presented.
Mr. Clee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Vert, Mrs. Vert,
Yes.
Mrs. Fafdal,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes, motion carries.
Action item E is the ordinance amending section 2.2-4 of the Planning Commission. Mrs. Tucker, do you want to give us a brief description?
So this is just a change in the ordinance, the number of commissioners from 9 to 7.
Thank you.
Planning Commission.
I just want to say that I won't be supporting this tonight. I've been on the committee for the last 4 years. I believe that this committee is different from other committees. Decisions are made from blueprint drawings that need expertise and more eyes to review the drawings. More voices need to be heard from the residents that live in the different areas from the township. Therefore, I believe that 9 members should remain on this committee.
So I just want to be clear here. This ordinance addresses the commission. That's where we appoint the members to the commission. And you're talking a lot about the duties or the work that you do as a subcommittee member with site plan review. So thank you for that. Is there any further discussion or questions about the ordinance amendment?
I have one. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ms. Funk.
No, I was just going to say that I will support Mrs. Fafdal because she serves on this committee, and I will take her recommendation and also vote no.
Okay.
I, in turn, was going to state with the same thing, and also wondering how, Ms. Carol Fafdal has stated for us, but I had reached out to a couple of the members on the committee and wondered the questioning on their feeling and their thoughts. And I would not be supporting this, as the eyes, as she stated, are extremely important for this operation.
So I just want to make everyone clear that the township board has authority over the commission. This is an ordinance that we appoint and oversee the planning commission. The committee that Carol speaks of is the subcommittee to the planning commission, which Larry Ford, as chairman of the planning commission, appoints. This board doesn't appoint to the subcommittee of the planning commission. That's under the authority of the chair of the planning commission. So with that, we've had our public hearing. We have the amendment before us. A motion would be in order to move forward approving or not an amendment to the section 2.2-4 of the Planning Commission, reducing the number of commissioners that we appoint from 9 to 7. And I just wanted to say, I just don't think at this point in time, we need to have a planning commission that's larger than the township board. The planning commission works on allowing new builds or working on changing ordinances or the master plan. The township has a board as a whole has a whole lot more duties to do, and we have 7 members. And I'm in favor of going down from 9 members to 7 members, but we have a motion do we have a motion? We don't. We need a motion.
I'll make a motion to move the membership from 9 to 7 members.
I'll second that. Madam Clerk, roll call
Wait,
vote.
I have a couple things to say.
Go
Since
ahead.
if I could. So there's a motion on the floor. They've been trying for years to move this from 9 to 7 members. I mean, even before I came on this board. And the subcommittee, I'm confused as to who's supposed to be on that. I didn't know that members of the planning commission is supposed to be on that pre-planning committee, and that there's been a lot of meetings that have not been public until recently. Is that true?
So in the beginning, and Carol can verify this, in the beginning, Chairman Ford of the Planning Commission requested that John Gazelle, he's the vice chair of the Planning Commission, they were going to have a subcommittee of 3 to review site plans, because people would come before the Planning Commission as a whole, and there would be small things that were overlooked, and they'd spend a great deal of time talking about fences or garbage dumpsters and placement thereof. And this is a plan review that you could work out the kinks before it came before the Planning Commission. So that was several years ago. And again, that's under the authority of the chairman of the Planning Commission to appoint committee members, any kind of a committee member. And I think they're working that out. As far as the open meeting, I spoke with the attorney. If they make recommendations to the Planning Commission, it's just a committee. It's not subject to the Open Meetings Act. If that committee makes decisions, which it has in the past, it is subject to the Open Meetings Act. It would have to be posted 18 hours in advance, and it had to be open to the public. So I know Larry has been working with Tracy, refining it. So they're also working on, kind of duties that would be expected of the subcommittee from the Planning Commission, but it's been agreed, all decisions go back to the Planning Commission. Carol, would you say that's an accurate description?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion, Trustee Burt?
Not right now.
Anybody else have a question or discussion on this motion?
I have a question, and it's to Trustee Fafdal. You were speaking about the Planning Commission, not the subcommittee, correct?
I was talking about the Planning Commission. I know that there's other committees that have, I would say, 9 on it. I believe the DDA does and the EDC does. And I just feel it's more important even for this one to involve more residents so that they can look over the drawings and bring more to the table. And make decisions. I would still like to see it.
I apologize, Carol. I thought you were referring to the committee.
No, I'm referring to not the pre-planning, the regular planning.
Okay. Thank you. I apologize for the confusion.
That's okay.
Is there any further discussion on the motion? One more time, any further discussion on the motion for amending this ordinance? Madam Clerk, roll call, please, on amending section 2.2-4 of the Planning Commission.
Ms. Campbell,
No.
Mrs. Burt,
Yes.
Mrs. Fafdal,
No.
Mrs. Anderson,
Yes.
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, no. Mr. Klee,
No.
the motion is defeated.
Action item F is appointments to the Planning Commission. You have them before you. You have Larry Ford, who his term is up. He needs to be reappointed. And Carol Fafdal, who has requested to represent the Township Board on the Planning Commission. And you have in your board packet their ending terms. I think they're November of 24. And there was a couple more in there. Mrs. Tucker, we're extending just a couple more on that. Is that correct?
Sorry, I was talking and I was still muted. Well, since we're not reconfiguring to 7, the only two that would be up right now that need reappointment would be Larry Ford and Carol. That leaves two open spots for the two who have resigned.
Right, and the only one who
And-
gets to appoint those is me, and we're not doing it at this time.
Right,
So-
he's the one who brings the names forward. I'm just saying, I don't know if you wanted, I mean, you could still reconfigure the ones because they came from open spots. So if they want to reconfirm the appointments as they've been stated in the resolution, it would just leave two open spots. And I would have to get those term dates for you.
So, are we not extending John Gazelle's tonight or no?
It has Larry Ford would be till November of 2024. John Gazelle would be November of 2023. Lou Fleury would be November of 2023. Warren Marks would be November of 2022. Randy Kilbreth is till November of 2022. There's no change there. And George Menudis's term expires in 11 of 2021. There's no change there. So it would just be that if you decide to reappoint people to take those last two spots, then I would have to get you the terms for those. So there's only the 7 that you're voting on tonight. Did I answer your question?
Yes, but I want to be clear with the trustees. There's no change to George Menudis's term. It's not up. It ends in November 21. And
Correct.
did you know, and Randy Kilbreth and Warren Marks, is there a change to their term ending November 2022?
Just Warren's.
Warren's.
Yes.
So tonight, the changes that we're making is we're asking the board to approve appointing Larry Ford, or reappointing him with his term ending November of 2024, Carol Pfaff-Dahl, representing our township board, to November 2024, John Gazelle extending his term to November 2023, Lou Fleury extending his term to end on November 2023, and Warren Marks, his term to end on November 2022. That's what we're doing tonight. A motion would be in order to move forward.
I'll make the motion. So we're going with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individuals tonight, correct?
Right, and no change to George Menudis's term. His is not up or anything.
Yeah, there's actually, you're only voting on 5.
5,
Randy and
yeah.
George those are their terms right now. There's no
Yes.
change to them.
Sorry, yes, thank you. So again, a motion is
A motion,
necessary to move
I'll
forward.
make a motion to move forward with Carol Pfaff-Dahl as a board representative, Larry Ford, John Gazelle, Lou LaFleury, and Warren.
Yes,
Correct.
That's 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Barb made the motion. Is there a second, please?
Clee
Campbell
would,
second.
oh, Campbell.
Campbell? Is there any further discussion?
I have a question on, are there term limits for any of these positions?
Yeah, we've just named them all. Oh, term limits? No, I don't believe so. Basically,
Okay.
the term limit, Lisa, is I make the recommendation and bring it forward to the board on planning commission, and we either approve or deny, and that would end the term, and we'd have to find someone else.
Madam Supervisor?
Yes,
Okay. So Lisa, their terms are 3 years at a time.
I get that. I said term
term
limits, like how many
expands.
3 years can they do?
so.
Well, because it's a planning commission, you're looking for people that have experience looking at plans. So they don't have any term limits. That's why they have an expiration of term. So you
But-
can either renew them or not.
But also in our ordinance, it states that if we don't reappoint, by their ending date, they stay on until we do. So if we didn't get around to it for 2 years, they'd serve beyond their 2-year term, they would serve 2 years beyond the term that's listed here. Does that make sense?
That's correct.
It's specifically stated in the ordinance that they serve until they're replaced. So, or they can resign. We had 2 people resign recently.
Okay,
That's correct, Karen. That's actually in the state law as well.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So, any further questions or discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mrs. Vert,
Yes.
Mrs. Fastow,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
yes,
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Klee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Action item G. Did you want to give I let Chief Salter go. At our last meeting, when we approved the contract with the on-call, we mentioned that part of the agreement was to purchase additional uniform items, and we needed to amend $4,000, and we did not specifically say which line item. And now you have that information in your packet from the controller's office. And so we need to amend specifically stating that in the motion has to state the, where it's coming from and what budget and what line item. So a motion is in order to do that, and it has to include the line item.
We would
Please.
move that we accept the amended public safety fund, and as per the statement, with a budget amendment of $4,000 to cover the cost of the uniforms. And it must state to amend the public safety fund 2021 fire department expenditure budget in the amount of $4,000 for the uniforms.
Is there a second? Did we get the right line item? Tom?
Yes, that's how it's stated in the
Okay,
in the request. Yes, ma'am.
I had a glitch. I temporarily didn't hear that. So we
Again,
have a motion
I'll state it again. To amend the public safety fund per the 2/1/21 board meeting to this, to amend the public safety fund 2021 fire department expenditures budget in the amount of $4,000 for the uniforms.
Okay, is there a second to the motion?
Campbell was second.
Any further discussion or questions or anything?
I just want to say that I'll be voting no on this because I did at the last meeting. And so since it's an amendment, I'll be voting no again.
Any other discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mrs. Fastow,
Yes.
Mrs. Anderson,
yes,
Ms. Miller,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk, yes. Mr. Klee,
Yes.
Ms. Campbell,
Yes.
Mrs. Vert,
No,
motion carries.
Thank you. Number 13, announcements. You see, we have our next board meeting, March 1st, 2021. It'll be by Zoom at 6 p.m. Do we have any other announcements, Madam Clerk?
No, we do not.
Again, I want to mention if we are snowed in and the county office is closed, the township administration office will be closed. If you have any questions, you can call me. You can call Trustee Vert, Deputy Supervisor. I'm not sure if Madam Treasurer, Madam Clerk will be in the office. You can call the receptions desk, Rose, if you have any questions, and we will get an answer to you. Other than that,
I just wanted to add real quick that technically the county is still closed. They're appointment only. So this would be if their staff was told not to come in, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clarification.
Yeah, they're working by appointment only, but yeah, thank you. All righty. If
One
there's
quick
no,
question, do we then put it on our website if we're closing?
and the doors, yes, we let people
Okay.
know.
Great.
And we could put a message on our phones too, on the main phone line. So there's no further business, and without objection, we can call this meeting adjourned. Thank you for being here.
Good night. Thanks. Bye.
I think that's a wrap, Terry. I'll look at the video. When we have the video that I can look at it to get the perpetrator's name and information.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey. She's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Oh, that's smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.